You're most welcome once again. Promotion Aptitude Test candidate. Those who are joining me, you're most welcome. Share your comments in the comment section. You can hear from me tonight. We are back again. Some people were asking, where have I been for the past few days? Day in Ghana. You are most welcome once again. If you can hear from me, let me hear you from the comment section. Share your thoughts in the comment section this evening. We are back. And the Promotion Aptitude Test portal is something else. People are really struggling to to register, and it's very tough. Also, James, that you can hear from me most. Thanks. You're most welcome. Also, James. This year Promotion Aptitude Test application is very, very tough, very, very disturbing, and very, very annoying to prospective candidates. To register is very tough. People are really complaining the process, and it is something else. But notwithstanding, try your best to register before the window ends, so that you get the opportunity to write this year. And it's very important. You're most welcome. Today, we'd like to share with you with some few questions. Those who can hear me from the comment section can indicate if they can hear from me. If you can hear from me, let me get from you. Rabbi, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Then those who have not yet support this live tutorial, sometimes we run out of resources, and we need to get a support from you people for us to keep on running this tutorials till you go and write your promotion exams. So today we are going to run through a few questions. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe. And the support line is also under the video. You can also contribute your quota to bringing you this live tutorial all the time. Those who have done the needful, you are most welcome, and thanks to all of you for the kind gesture. And if you haven't, try to support. So today we're looking at some few questions that you may need them in a promotion aptitude test. Farouk Kwame. Farouk, you are most welcome to today's tutorials. Support is very important. Give your support. The Momo line is just below the screen that you can support. But let's dive into today's tutorials and see one or two things that we need to be very careful with them before we go and write our promotion exams. So we are looking at the batches of the questions that we need to deal with them. So let's just dive into it. The review of the curriculum is to respond to the national priority of shifting the structure and content of education system from what? From merely passing examination to build character, nurturing the values and raise the literate level in Ghana. That is the focus of the new curriculum. And there are some things that we need to We need to know about them before we go and write our promotion aptitude test. Most of the questions will come from the new curriculum and the new educational policies that were being introduced, especially in 2020. So policies that introduced in 2020, we need to be very careful with them and have a look at them. It's very important. So the vision of the new curriculum is what? The vision of the new curriculum is to give all Ghanaian children of school-going age the chance to benefit from quality basic education. That was the reason why the new um, standard-based curriculum was introduced in 2019 and continued to complete it in the junior high school, the senior high school level. You need to know this. It's very important. Now, the learning areas of the 4 R's in the new curriculum or across the curriculum are what? The 4 R's. Let me see in the comment section. Give me the learning areas of the 4 R's across the curriculum, the new curriculum. What are what are these 4 R's stand for? What are these 4 R's stand for? So in a few seconds, let's look at the answers that you share in the comment section. The 4 R. What are the 4 R's stand for in the new curriculum? The 4 R. Share it in the comment section now. And let me see if you can do something or if you understand the 4 R's. The 4 the 4 R stand for an abbreviation or a particular keywords in the new curriculum that was introduced. And if we are delaying in providing, let's just jump into it. So the 4 R in across the curriculum area stand for 1, writing. The 4 R. We're having the 3 R. Now we have the 4 R. Somebody saying reading. Set a phone right. That is just nice. Okay. So the learning areas of the 4 R across the curriculum are 1, writing, 2, reading, that is correct form of phone reading. Then we have arithmetic, and the last one is creativity. So the 4 R across the curriculum or the new base curriculum are 1, writing, reading, arithmetic, and creativity. So the creativity, the R there in the in the word creativity is also part of the new learning area of the standard-based curriculum. So have it in mind. So the 4 R are writing, reading, arithmetic, and creativity. So these are the 4 R in the new standard-based curriculum. So have it in mind before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. Now, some competencies and skills were also developed in this standard-based curriculum. So the skills and the competencies of the new standard-based curriculum are 1, we have creativity, critical thinking and problem solving. Whether you like it or not, you are going to meet questions from this area, the new standard-based curriculum that elaborated the skills and the competencies. You're going to meet questions from this area, and you need to be very careful with these questions when it comes to the promotion aptitude test. So we have the critical thinking and problem solving. try and read, go back and look at your resource pack, read something about them before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. So critical thinking and problem solving, communication and collaboration, we have cultural identity and global citizenship, creativity and innovation, digital literacy, and we have um, leadership and personal development. These are the 6 competencies that you need to look at them before you go and write the promotion exams, especially the details information about them. Go and read something about it before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. Now let's get into the some of the new features that were also introduced in this standard-based curriculum. You need to also read something about them. Very important. And please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't. So the ability to appraise, compare features of different things, and make comments or judgment, compare, contrast, criticize, justify, support, discuss, conclude, and make recommendation is called evaluation. So the moment you see the word appraise, then the learning levels of the Bloom taxonomy that was also introduced in the new curriculum. So the moment you see the word appraise, compare features of different things, making comments or judgment, or compare, contrast, criticize, justify, support, discuss, conclude, and make recommendations, these are talking about evaluation. So have it in mind when you want to pass the promotion exams. Then the ability to break down a material or information into its component parts or its parts, or to differentiate, to compare, distinguish, outline, separate, justify significant point. This is the ability to recognize under stated assumptions and logical fallacies or conclusion. It's talking about analysis. So breaking down, you take the topic that you're going to deliver with your learners, then you break it down into components, into smaller pieces for the learners to get an understanding of it. This is what we call analysis. When you're analyzing, you break down the topic into components and let those who are listening to you, those who are learning, to understand individual components, individual parts of the topic. This is analysis under the learning level of the cognitive learning level of the Bloom taxonomy. So have it in mind. So if the learner is able to break down the material or information into its component parts, or able to differentiate, able to compare, distinguish, outline, separate, or identify a significant point, ECT, this is the ability to recognize under a stated assumption and logical fallacy is known as analysis. So go and read something about the pre-tertiary education framework. You see all these things, and it is very important. Most of the school heads are having this book, pre-tertiary education framework. So ask your head or ask any administrator, and you get this book and read and understand these things. So it doesn't mean that you should depend only on questions. Read wide. The reason why most people are failing this promotion, or most of the time they fail the promotion exams, is that you depend on questions alone. And when questions are asked on the other angles, then we begin to struggle. We begin to fail gradually. So you need to read wide. You need to open it up. Get a lot of books, read, ask questions. When you give them the opportunity to ask questions, nobody will even bring out any question. And that one, you always have a challenge. Then let's look at this. The ability to put together to form a new whole, which involves the ability to combine, compile, compose, devise, plan, revise, organize, create, generate new ideas and solution is known as what? It is known as synthesis or synthesis. Synthesis. So ability to break down the whole into part is known that you are analyzing. But when after you have broken down the whole into parts, and now you put them together to form a new ideas, a new solution or plan, devise or revise, combine, compile, this is known as synthesis. Synthesis. So have it in mind when you go for your promotion aptitude test. You can meet questions from these areas and you begin to struggle. I don't want you to struggle this year's promotion aptitude test. So the ability to use information or material to plan, then compose, produce, manufacture or construct other product is known as what? Is known as creating. Creating. If you're able to put plans together, then you compose Newton, you produce Newton, you manufacture something, you construct a product. This is known as creating. It is also part of the new learning level of the Bloom taxonomy. Creativity is also part of creating is also part. Then the skills of using our senses to gather information about objects or learners or events is called what? So using all your senses to gather information, using the eye, using the ears, using all the senses to gather information is known as observing. So when you're observing, you use all your senses to gather information. Use your senses to gather information. So have it in mind. So if you're using your senses, all your senses, to gather information about an object, about a learner, about an event, or about a program, then you're observing. So have it in mind before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. Today, I don't think I want to bother so much or go into the lengthy time again. No, this time we'll do it bit by bit, or we will not try to give you a longer period of time. Now, the skill of grouping objects or events based on the common characteristics is known as what? It's known as classifying. So when you're putting students in the same learning level, the same learning difficulties, or the same intelligence, you are classifying them. So the skills of grouping objects, grouping events based on the common characteristics, based on the common learning knowledge, common learning skills or competencies is known as grouping. So we group learners according to their learning levels, according to their classes. So this one is classifying. So have it in mind before you go and write the promotion aptitude test. Now let's look at this question again, or this question 2. So the skills of identifying similarities and differences between two or more objects, two or more learners, two or more concepts, two or more processing, learning processes is called comparing. Comparing and comparing. So if you are comparing, it simply means you are identifying similarities, you identify differences between two or more learners, two or more objects, two or more concepts, two or more processes. This is known as comparing. So have it in mind. You don't get it anywhere unless this platform. Now, the skills of assessing the likelihood of an outcome based on the prior knowledge about how learning usually turn out is known as. So when you are assessing to see the likelihood of a result appearing based on the prior knowledge, based on the previous knowledge, based on the previous learning thoughts about things usually turn out is called predicting. You're making a prediction. So you're making a prediction to see if whatever the learner has learned is able to produce the results that you want. So that is prediction. So have it in mind. It is very important that you look at this. Now let's look at this one. Now, the skills of evaluating the data in terms of its wealth, in terms of its good or bad, in terms of its reliability or unreliability, making references or inferences, and predicting from a written or a geographical data driving the conclusion is known as interpretation. You're interpreting the data. So have it in mind. And you may meet them in the promotion aptitude test. Few seconds for us to end today's lesson. Come back tomorrow again. Now, the Sustainable Development Goal 4, that the target number 1 state that by the end of 2030, all boys and girls complete a free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to a relevant and effective learning outcome. Is it true or false? It's true. So the first target of the Sustainable Development Goal 4 that talks about education simply state that by the year 2030, all boys and girls should complete a free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to the relevant and effective learning outcome. That is why Ghana has taken the initiative to make primary education free and secondary education free. We are gaining towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 4 Target 1 that state that all boys and girls must complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education that will lead to a relevant and effective learning outcome. So Ghana is just on the way of achieving that. It's very important that we get to know. You won't get it anywhere unless this place. Now, one of the major quality assurances issues confronting heads of public senior high school is encroachment on land and local chiefs and other people. True or false? This this is true. When you go to most of the senior high schools, they were having a vast land, and now there is encroachment upon their land, and they need to build walls around those lands. And it's a tough issue that most of the senior high school heads are facing, and we need to have it in mind before we go and write our promotion aptitude test. Now, the last question: the overall Ministry of Education is to provide relevant and quality formal education for some Ghanaians. So when you are reading the true or false questions, you look at some key elements in it. It says that the overall Ministry of Education is to provide relevant and quality education for some Ghanaians. It is not true, because its function is to provide quality formal education to all Ghanaians. So when you see these relative clauses in some of the questions, you begin to see that no, these questions does not produce a true answer. It says some. So the word some there has negated the statement. But if it was all Ghanaians, then the answer would have been true. But this one, it says some Ghanaians, and the answer is false. So have it in mind. Now, the goal of the educational sector is in accordance with Act 778, true or false? It's true. So this 778 has changed the entire function of Ghana Education Service, or the goal of education. So have it in mind before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. And let me see if I can get the last question before I draw the curtains down. Now, quality of teaching is determined by the total number of people in the classroom. Quality of teaching, it is determined by the total number of people in the classroom. This answer is completely false. It does not determine the total number of people in the classroom. So quality of teaching does not determine the number of learners in the classroom, but it depends on how you are able to influence the learners in the classroom, whether few or a total number or a very large number. So have it in mind. So the quality of teaching does not look at the total number of people in a classroom. So whether few or large number, if you want to offer a quality formal education, it does not talk about number. So have it in mind. So this is what we have this evening. We shall continue. We have a bunch of questions that we can deal with them till we start writing the promotion exams. So always come around. And don't forget to give your support to these tutorials. It is very important. If you don't support, we cannot bring you all the time what you need. And you need day in, day out update, day in, day out questions to prepare adequately well to help you pass the promotion aptitude test. Most grateful for you coming back or coming along for us to share. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, try to subscribe. If you have not supported, the line is just below the video. Just give your support, and see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye bye.